Hi guys, I just wanted to say hello. I am Chef Lindsay with To Taste. I am a registered dietitian, nutritionist, and trained chef. I'm also a culinary nutrition expert. So I am going to discuss sugary beverages with you today. And like I said, I just wanted to say hi before I got the slideshow started and I ended up very small in the corner. So thank you for joining us today. And let me go ahead and open our slide. Okay, here we go. Let's talk about sugary beverages. We know there are a lot of them out there, but a lot of them can also be mistaken for healthy drinks. And so today we'll look at beverages that may say fruit juice or they contain milk or dairy or lots of different examples on beverages. So, what are they and where can we find them and impact our health? We talk about hydration and the importance of hydration. Did you know that your body is 66% water? That's so much, 66% water. Two-thirds of your body is made of water. And that keeps our metabolism running and our energy levels steady. And water keeps our joints flexible and our skin soft. So things that you might not think about water contributing to, it really does help. Our bloodstream is mostly water, and our blood carries oxygen to all of our organs and muscles. So think about sports and hydration. That is especially important. Sweating, heavy breathing, even if it's cool outside, you still need to hydrate because we lose water quickly when we exercise. It's our body's natural way to cool ourselves. So it's important to replace those losses and to be able to replace them with water. And that way, we can continue to function essentially without a decrease in physical performance, such as these athletes on the screen, or you might be in marching band or number of activities that require you to be active. Now that we've discussed the importance of hydration, let's talk a little bit about sugar. So there's natural sugar that's found in fruits, and some vegetables also have natural sugar. And even milk, dairy foods have natural sugar called lactose. And then there's added sugar that we're talking about more so today in our sugary beverages. And that's white sugar and corn syrup and honey and those are all added to a lot of our drinks. These added sugars are the ones that we really want to watch out for. So, do you have a guess at how many different names there are for sugar? How many different names are there for sugar? Okay, take a minute to think, write it down, and I'm going to tell you that there's 62 different names for added sugar. So, how are we supposed to keep up with all that? You may look at the back of a food label and say, no, it doesn't have added sugar, it's fine. But there's a lot of hidden names for sugar. So, here's a list of names for added sugar. And some of those sound healthy, actually. What about fruit juice concentrate? That sounds healthy. We may have grape sugar. Sounds like it has a fruit in it, right? Not too bad. But look at all of these. These are actually added sugars. And some that we might see more of are these words that end in ose, sucrose, fructose, dextrose, and maltose. Or concentrates are also very popular. Malt sugar, brown rice syrup, maple syrup are all seen often. And then evaporated cane juice, fruit juice, and cane juice. So I want to go ahead and pause the slideshow and take a minute to get a piece of paper and a pen because we're going to do a little activity a little later, and I want to make sure that you have those two things. And then we're also going to do a little scavenger hunt. So go ahead and let's see. The nutrition um, for our scavenger hunt, we are going to find either in our pantry or refrigerator, or if you don't have one in your house, which is great too, maybe online or on the internet, you're going to find a sugary drink and something that has one of these added sugars to it. And again, you can find one online if you need to, and bring it back. And together, we're going to look at that beverage. So go ahead and pause your screen and find a piece of paper, a pen, and a beverage nutrition label of choice. Okay, come right back. Great. I hope you found a nutrition label on the back of a sugary beverage of some sort and hold on to that because we'll dive in a little deeper at the end with an activity. Do any of these beverages look familiar, or did you guys pull out one of these from your pantry or your refrigerator? They're pretty popular. So, the reason we are taking a look at these today is because, again, some of them look like they could be healthy. An iced tea with lemon flavor, that looks pretty healthy. Minute Maid with lemon. Um, milk is a great healthy choice. But a lot of them are sweetened with those extra added sugars. A lot of them have those labels that we looked at earlier with the different types of sugar names. So, in many athletic programs, from peewees to professionals, we see lots of people drinking sports beverages. And they could be muscle milk or Gatorade or Powerade. A ton of different ones have been produced over the years. And although sports beverages do provide hydration, they also have lots of added sugar. And the ingredients, such as electrolytes and artificial colors, and there's certain individuals that they can consume those beverages with the added sugar, and that's okay if they're big athletes, but not the artificial color. But for most of us, we aren't professional athletes, and we need to limit these types of beverages. Water alone does a good job of rehydrating for all activities such as recess and maybe an hour or two of basketball practice. But we don't necessarily need to rehydrate with a bunch of added sugar. So again, remember that water works very well along with a good after workout snack. And Lexi will discuss this more. Our dietitian and culinary nutrition expert, Lexi, will discuss this in her sports class a little more later. So, why should we be concerned about added sugar that we consume? We should be concerned. Let me show you why. A lot of added sugar can lead to heart disease, cancer, chronic lung disease, stroke, Alzheimer's, diabetes, and chronic kidney disease. Maybe you have heard about some of these, maybe not all of them, but excess added sugar consumption is linked to chronic disease. And this is proven medically and scientifically that a lot of research has been done. And these diseases require a lot of medication and doctor's visits to manage. They're expensive and they don't often help us feel good and provide us energy. So it's best to prevent the need altogether by adopting a healthful diet. So if we can take care of our health by what we eat and drink, we need to do it. We can take control of these things. Some things are out of our control, yes, but if we can contribute, then we need to. So we aren't just focusing on sugar, added sugar alone. What we should be concerned with sugary beverages specifically is because those sugary beverages contain calories too. So we usually get full by drinking them and are not very full by drinking them, making it very easy to consume a lot of it. So we may drink a whole big Gatorade drink and not even realize how much of it we drank. And all of those calories don't really sustain us like a meal would. And sometimes our drink has as many calories as a whole meal would be. So, when we take in more energy than our body needs, this creates an imbalance in our system, leading to a negative health consequence, especially if we're not leaving room for um, other nutritious foods like fruits and veggies and whole grains and dairy. And when we speak specifically about dairy, dairy has amazing benefits for your body, but we just want to make sure that when we have dairy plus sugar, that we limit that amount of sugar that we're eating with our dairy foods. How much is too much? How much is a good amount of sugar? We know that we're going to eat sugar. I love sweets, in fact, and I'm a registered dietitian with two young kids. And while 0 grams of added sugar in a day is just not going to happen, it's ideal to keep it lower. And so science has created this recommendation through research that says that, yes, while we realize that zero amounts of added sugar is not possible, but we're going to add it to foods like our homemade granola, we have it, or our muffins, or maybe dark chocolate. Those are all things that we enjoy. And sure, cakes and cupcakes and cookies during birthday parties, it's just inevitable that we're going to enjoy those as well. And we want you guys too. But for children your age, we want to limit our daily consumption to no more than 6 teaspoons of added sugar in a day. So this is a teaspoon right here. And so 6 teaspoons, which is 24 grams of added sugar. So on your screen too, you have the 6 teaspoons. So that's for kids ages 2 to 18. And the goal is less than 25 grams or 6 teaspoons of added sugar daily. So when we take a look at our drinks and our nutrition labels, that's why I wanted you guys to have a label to look at. You can think of it like a bank. You store this amount of sugar in a bank, and then as you eat throughout the day, you take some of that away from the bank. So if you eat a granola bar with 10 grams of sugar, then you're taking 10 grams from that 25 or 24, and you have 14 left. And then say you may eat a yogurt with a lot of sugar. Maybe that yogurt has 14 grams of added sugar. It's a really sweet yogurt. If you drink a Fanta soda, that's going to be days of your sugar allocation. So I recommend really looking at your beverages carefully when you're making a selection, even if it's for just something different besides water or sports, and really keeping in mind that this added sugar does add up. So if it's still hard to see a real visual of this, I want to do an experiment and a little activity with you guys with the label that you chose. So again, I want you to have a pen, a piece of paper, and your nutrition label on your beverage. If you have a teaspoon, you can go get that too. It looks like this little TSP. It's a smaller one, not the tablespoon. And then I'm going to show you with a beverage what the amount of sugar looks like in this beverage. Okay, pause for a moment, make sure you're all set up, and then return back for our activity. Okay, guys, I want you now to do a really fun activity with me. And remember that beverage that I had you find in your pantry or online or in your refrigerator? We want to take those beverages out. And if you didn't have one, go ahead and look at that nutrition label that you may have found online. And remember, you want this to be an unhealthy drink. So something maybe with lots of sugar, added sugar, like we've been talking about, would be great in this situation. So don't be afraid that it has a bunch of sugar and you don't want to show it or talk about it because of that. It's really a good opportunity to see how much sugar is really hidden in drinks nowadays. So everyone pause the video if you need to. Go find again your drink, your pen, and your paper. Maybe a calculator if you're not feeling like doing a lot of math. Okay, pause it if you need to. Well, now that you have your item, and that is your drink, your sugary drink, we're going to calculate how many teaspoons of sugar are in each drink. I chose this Minute Maid lemonade because lemonade sounds like a pretty healthy drink. But actually, if it's tart just with lemon and a little water, it's hard to drink. So they add a bunch of sugar to it to make it taste better. And that sugar you can't really see because it's dissolved. And again, it's different types of sugar that's liquefied, and you don't really think of it as drinking a lot of sugar because, again, it's in a beverage. And um, it's just not like eating a brownie or a cookie. It's, again, in a different form. So we want to remember to stick to 24 grams or less of sugar per day. And so we're going to take this lemonade and see how much sugar is in it. You'll notice on the screen that it says 67 grams of sugar. 67 grams of sugar. Oop, wrong way. Okay, so if you take 67 and divide it by 4, you're going to get, I believe, 16.75. So on your calculator, you're going to take the grams of sugar. So we're going to do mine all together. And I'm going to do it on my calculator right here. So I'm going to take 67 and divide that by 4, because there's 4 grams of sugar in each teaspoon. So we took, 67 divided by 4, and I got 16.75. So again, I have my teaspoon. And if you are going to do this at home, if you're not going to do the math, which we would love for you to do the whole activity, find a teaspoon in your pantry or something that resembles this. It's TSP, not the tablespoon. That would be cheating. You'll get a lot of extra sugar that way. But take your teaspoon, and I'm going to now measure 16. I have my sugar and I have my cup. I'm going to measure 16.75 teaspoons of sugar in here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Woo, it's a lot. 12, 13, 14, 15. Woohoo, almost there. 16, and then not quite a full one. So this is how much sugar is in that lemonade. You'll see it's a lot of sugar in this one drink. So again, that's 16.75 teaspoons of sugar. And in a day, we want to have how many again? I hope I'm hearing 24 or less. So that's minus, let's see, 24. So I only have about 7 grams left. And that's like two and a little bit of teaspoons, or one and a little bit. So that's just not a lot of sugar in the day compared to what we probably are eating. So I wanted you to do this with yours as well at home and see how much sugar is in your drink. So again, you're going to take the sugar, the total grams of sugar, and divide it by 4 to get the number of teaspoons in your drink. But go ahead and do that with your drink, and we would love to see those pictures emailed to us. And we will come back for a closing after that and just some key points to remember. But go ahead and measure your sugar from that's in your drink and see how much you are drinking at home, maybe with some of your favorite beverages. Okay, I'll be right back. Thank you. Welcome back, everyone. I hope you had fun filling your cup with sugar. And if you didn't get a chance, I hope you enjoyed just looking at the amount of grams of sugar in your cup and dividing that by 4 to get the total number of teaspoons. Please do send that to yesdallas@texashealth.org, and we would love to see it. If you get the chance, you can take a picture of your beverage, of your math, or of the final amount of sugar in your drink. So a few key takeaways for this lesson. We want to make sure you guys remember that hydration is important for keeping your body healthy and strong. And that comes in a variety of different drinks, but we want to make sure that we're limiting the number of sugary drinks that we drink, keeping our total grams of sugar to 24 or less in a day as students. So how are we going to incorporate other drinks? We've got to really keep an eye on the different names for sugar. Even though it's a healthy looking drink, looks are deceiving. So there's 60 plus different names for sugar. So we really want to make sure we read that nutrition label on our drink and to see what added sugars are in our foods. Remember that I believe there's 62 different names, so more than 60 different names that sugar can show up as on that nutrition label. And eating too much sugar can increase our disease risk. We talked about that as well. We want to stay healthy and out of the doctor's office as much as possible. Lastly, reach for healthy drinks like water, sparkling water, unsweetened tea, and one of my favorites, smoothies. So those are all sweetened with natural sweeteners. Like you could use unsweetened tea and put some berries in it, or lemon, or you can make a smoothie, a sweet smoothie with strawberry banana, or even add some spinach or some greens to it. So these are all delicious ways to hydrate your body and stay healthy. And I just want you guys to remember that as you reach for your next beverage, to make sure that you're checking the label and seeing the amount of added sugar. So stay healthy out there, guys. And I really appreciate your time. Again, I hope you had a fun time doing the sugar activity and seeing what was in your drink. And again, just remember before you reach. Okay, enjoy your day. And thank you again so much for listening. Bye-bye.